you want to start this time? I feel like I start every time.
I'll start this time.
Yeah, it's
No.
one of you two.
You guys come in after.
I'm down with that. No, that's fine. They get started.
Ninny, you want to start us off here?
Am I supposed to?
Or Mimi.
You
No,
can.
would you like to though?
I mean, like, I'm Ninny. I play mostly Survivor, definitely. I have over
No, that's
6,000 hours.
boring. No, I meant like
no. We
you'd
just
be
mean like
welcome to the
back
podcast.
to
Welcome.
Welcome
to By the Campfire.
I think that's it. You know what? We're just gonna use
Well,
that.
get your palms toasty because here comes the roasty boasties.
All right.
You're
Hello,
welcome.
everyone. Welcome back to By the Campfire, as we just fucking said. This week we have on Mimicakefarts and we have Coconinny. And yeah, we're really excited. We just want to quickly say thank you to everyone for supporting the last two episodes. We really appreciate it. And yeah, it's been awesome to see all of our friends really be supportive of that. So we just want to say thank you guys real quick. And yeah, so if you guys want to go down the line here and just introduce yourselves a little bit about what you do real quick, who you are.
Yeah, I'll start. So this episode is brought to you by NordVPN, and I'm Mimicakefarts, and I play mainly Survivor with a mix of Killer too, and I stream and make stupid TikToks and be goofy.
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ninny?
Oh, you said dick talks.
Yeah.
Dick
yeah.
talks.
That's what I thought he said.
Yeah, I make
Oh,
clean dick
I've
talks.
seen
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you should see it.
You should see it.
How many hours do you have, Mimi?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, about 3K across like all platforms. I started on Xbox. I started playing like late 2020, sometime in that frame. And then I don't know. I have a very addictive personality. So when I like dive into a game, it's like that's all I'm playing. Really, like that's it. So that's
the side addiction. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dead by Daylight is like your nicotine addiction.
No, I have a nicotine. addiction.
Yeah. That's what I
So
was gonna say.
Dead by Daylight is like the second addiction.
Or third. We
Yeah.
don't know about the other one.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
You should
So
see it.
yeah.
So
So-
you don't want to see this one.
So I just played throughout different platforms, and I switched to PC. I want to say like October of 2021.
Awesome.
And yeah, here I am now.
Not that
There
long
it
ago.
is.
Yeah, not that long ago at all.
What about you, Ninny?
All right. Well, I mean, my name is Wavy Kate. I'm a Survivor babe. No, I'm Ninny. I'm definitely a Nancy main. I'm the first P100 Nancy. Woo!
Ooh.
I play nurse mostly. I'm a nurse crutch. I played a bit of competitive nurse. I loved it by Daylight. It's not my nicotine, it's my crack. So
Nice.
You have what, 6K hours and stuff, right?
yeah, like 6.4K on Steam. I started on the Switch actually.
No way.
Mm.
What was
Bro,
that
yeah,
like?
That's such a flex.
I had a devotion on the Switch. Me and my
No
cousin would like
way.
we would get drunk and then we would be like, yo, let's go do gens. Like that's what we'd say. We'd get on our Switch and we'd do gens.
What was that like transitioning then? That must have been crazy.
Well,
to,
I
like, be
mean,
on PC for the first time after playing on the Switch.
oh, it definitely was. I watched the game probably for like a year and a half before I even played it on the Switch. So like I kind of had game knowledge going even onto the Switch. So
You did bring up that you are the first P100 Nancy main, which leads me to my next question. Which of you is the real Nancy main? The true Nancy main? So I know you
See, I
both are
think-
Nancy mains.
I think it's up for the fog to decide.
Up
I'm
to
gonna-
the
I'll-
fog!
I can. I think Ninny definitely, because
Oh, really?
the way that I use Nancy is like a fucking logo, man. Like I use the specific goofiest Nancy cosmetic, which like by the way I used on Xbox. That like transferred over. I'd always
No
used
way.
that cosmetic on Nancy.
I think
And,
the
like-
fog is blowing kisses in the wind.
But yeah, I'm gonna say probably Ninny, because I also do switch it up a lot. Like before they fucked beams on male characters, which evidently I guess that's just what it's gonna be, right?
Yeah.
Like I played a lot of Ace, and then I don't know. I switch it up every now and then, but Logo is really just the goofy Nancy. I wouldn't say that I'm the true Nancy compared to the P100 over here.
I feel like you can argue like that's why you should be more of the Nancy main. Like yours is more symbolic. Like you are broccoli hair Nancy. Ninny's just like
You're the
a
icon.
gamer.
I'm just the grinder. I didn't. I
Yeah,
didn't-
exactly.
I was
All
gonna
right,
say,
dude. So then, yeah.
I was expecting.
That's why I said. Listen, I said let the fog decide.
I was gonna say I was expecting more of an argument there. Mimi's just like, he can have it.
I got you, Mimi.
Yo, thanks, dog. Thanks. Yeah, I'm the true fucking Nancy, man. What's good?
Oh,
Do we want to?
The true Nancy main shall be decided by something greater than us. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
Do we want to talk a bit about how we all know each other, real quick, just for the viewers to really understand the parasocial relationships we have in this call?
Well, Swart's my ex-boyfriend. We started
Yeah.
dating about 7 years ago, and we kind of fell off.
we've been divorced
Main friend.
twice.
Twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a long story.
You guys have a lot
No,
of
wait.
issues.
Vegas is pretty interesting.
Yo, fun fact about me: I forget how I meet everyone. So
Yeah, I'm so real about that right now.
like
I-
real shit. I forget how I have met every
So-
single person.
I met Ninny in a Kai server, and we just started playing. And that was it.
Backtrack.
Like,
Oh yeah,
June.
yeah, I do. Remember
and then Mimi, I think it was more like just a mutual TikTok.
Yeah.
Like someone rated him. I can't remember who. And then I was just like in his stream. And this is like when I think when Mimi first started streaming, kind of
Yeah.
like probably around the same time, like June as well, like something like that. And I just someone rated him, and then me and Em were watching him, and that was about it. Like that's about it.
I will say, well, first of all, Ninny does Ninny know?
What?
do I
Does
do I
Ninny
know?
You know
We
what?
played against Ninny. We played against
Oh.
Ninny's nurse a long time ago with Cloud.
Wait,
Yeah.
no, you didn't.
Yes, we did. And we all killed ourselves at 5 gens. We're like, we're not playing against a nurse.
No,
And I'm
It was like
so
a-
serious. I'm so serious. And like we went, and then Cloud like saw the end game screen, and he was like, "Oh, it's Ninny. I know Ninny." And we were
You
like,
guys knew who-
"Cool."
You guys knew who I was. And You
Yeah.
guys killed. Just oh
No,
my
I didn't
we
really know who you
till
were
after.
though.
We didn't know till
Yeah.
after who it was. Like we didn't know who you were.
But it was, like-
Cloud
Oh,
knew
that's
who you were.
Crazy.
Yeah,
It was
funny.
like the game or something, wasn't it? And then it was like
No,
our
no, no,
second
it
or
was
third
Dead
nurse in a
Dog.
row.
It was Dead
Oh,
Dog.
that's fair too. But I remember we had like a couple nurses, and I was like, I kind of remember that like like that kind of situation. I remember being fed up with just playing nurse because it was like nurse.
Yeah.
It was like Pinhead, then nurse. And I was like nurse again. I was like, nah, fuck this.
It was one of those games where like you don't even try. Like as
Yeah,
soon as you see the killer, like you don't even run, like not, something like that. Like we didn't even try. And then I remember afterwards we watched the VOD, and then he was like, "Okay," and that's like all he said.
That's just sad boy hours.
Yeah, I have a really good memory, so I remembered that when you two became like good friends. So
I
7
know.
years ago, of course.
7 years
Yeah,
ago,
7
yeah,
years.
when the
It was
game was
probably before we
released.
started dating because there was a little tension after. we
Yeah.
started.
Yeah. And then Mimi, I think the same thing for me. It was like a TikTok mutual. And I think I popped in your stream one time and said hello. And from then on, I've attended like every single I was talking
Yeah,
about this
dude.
I was talking about this recently, but I don't watch a ton of Twitch, but like the streams I do always watch are like Mimi's streams, Swart when he streams, or like Ots. I'm so serious. Like I attend every Mimi stream and thoroughly enjoy it, and not just because he's a friend.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's so sweet.
Me and Em have like
Wow.
almost a
We have
tradition where
movie
we just like
nights.
sit there and we just watch Mimi
We
stream
have
like literally.
Mimi movie nights, like dead ass
That's a
every single
vibe.
time.
Mimi
'Cause it's
movie
it's
nights.
every
Oh my
night. So like he's
goodness.
like one of the only people live. So it's like during the
Yeah.
day, like it's usually like Wavy will be live and then like Ninny's live and like I'll be all these different people are live. So I'm like going back and forth between people. And then like nighttime, it's really just like like I'll watch like Momo and like Mimi and that's it. Like
Yeah, it's become
Wow.
a tradition, a little bit of a tradition.
My heart is warm. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
But yeah, that's how we know these fellas. Speaking of Twitch, we're gonna talk a little bit about content creation because I know you guys are both big into the TikToks and the Twitch
Other-
streams
yeah.
and the
Yeah.
other platforms. So
Never
I
heard
guess
of
our
it.
first question would be like, what has been your experience with Twitch and other socials? Like, how has it been to grow your audience? How has it been to, experience having a community? What's that been like?
Well, I mean, ever since I was like 8, I was like recording with my camera and like uploading it to YouTube of me like moving my Legos around and being like, yeah, yeah. Or like, yeah, I used to make tomahawks out of paper and I'd throw them and like do tomahawk trick shots. Like I'd upload my Call of Duty zombie videos. Ever since I was like 8, I would make all kinds of videos and I never really had any traction or anything on any of them until I was like, I don't know, till I started playing DBD. Once I started playing DBD, I really started growing a community. I probably averaged like 3 to 5 viewers maybe from when I was like 17 to like even maybe 20. But once I started playing DBD is when I really started growing a little more and it was a lot of fun.
And how about you, Mimi?
For me, it's been really weird. Like, I before like any content creation, like I didn't have, put it this way, like I didn't have a community. Like I didn't have any like large group of friends that played this game. I knew nobody on this game. I played this game routinely with like 1 or 2 people, and that's it. Like I don't think I played in a 4-man Swift until I want to say like at some point in the summer of 2021.
Mhm.
Like I was a solo queue trooper for a very long time. And like even after like playing in 4-man Swift, like I again like I didn't know shit anybody on this game, like anybody at all. So like to see where I am now compared to my first stream was April 16th of this year, but to like see where I've come now, I'm like that's fucking crazy. Like first off, why does anybody want to watch me? Second, I'm like it just happened like really organically,
Mhm.
which is fucking wild to me. And I guess like I definitely have TikTok to thank for some of that. You know, like I started posting just like clip dumps, just like shit posting basically of any random
Feel
clip
that.
that I had. Yeah, like at first I think I started posting on TikTok in March and then streamed like a month or some later. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like the biggest thing for me was just like that I started from literal zero, like
Mhm.
actual zero, didn't have anybody that was like in the community. Like I only by the time I started making content, like I knew maybe like maybe like 5 people at most.
And I think that's what's cool about Dead by Daylight in general is that the community, a lot of people play this game, right? But the community is really small. At the
Mm-hmm.
end of the
I know.
day, the
It's
community
crazy.
is tiny, and it's so cool how, if you stream it once and you have, decent quality, sound quality, you have a decent video quality, you're gonna meet so many people just from playing the game. And I think that's really special and unique to DBD. So it's definitely cool to hear um, other content creators and what their experience has been like. That's crazy. You only started in April.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's
It's months.
nuts.
Yeah, my first stream was April 16th, and I think like my first week I averaged like probably 5 viewers.
Dude, my
And
first stream was like 2017.
holy shit, really? Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I wish I started like for me too. I, IRL up until the pandemic, I played like live music all the time. So streaming for me was like once the pandemic hit, like obviously I haven't done that since. But streaming for me was definitely like a hole, or rather a void fill for me in my heart, like being able to do that. So like transitioning to streaming was pretty easy, and like I always wanted to do it anyway. I just didn't care to because I'm lazy. But now I'm like clockwork, man. Like I don't miss shit at all. But it definitely like filled in that like live performance aspect of me that I've had since I was like 15.
I actually really understand that clockwork thing you're talking about because there was a point like a year and a half ago where I just streamed for 117 days straight or something like that. Like
Yeah.
every day at like 5 I went and like you just get like you just really like it's really fulfilling. Like it really does fill that void. Like you just
Mm-hmm.
keep doing it and like it's just this is day to day. Like this is okay. This is fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm gonna talk about Ninny, your early stream. You said you started streaming in 2017. What did you stream? And like how did those go?
Bro, I streamed everything under the sun, bro. I streamed Pokemon shiny hunting. I streamed Overwatch. I streamed CS:GO. I streamed I don't even know, Smash, I think before. I Fortnite I streamed for a long time. I streamed everything, and it was just, you'll never grow like that because there's just so much saturation in all those
Yeah.
games. Like
So
if you have 2 viewers playing Fortnite, you're not gonna really go anywhere, no
yeah.
matter what.
Um, speaking of that, because you just like mentioned like 7, 8, 9, 10 different games.
Mhm.
What made you really gravitate toward DBD? Both of you guys.
I have no idea, to be honest. I
Mm.
think, well, like I know why I love DBD, if that's why you're asking. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what made you like really just stick with
Yeah,
DBD?
what
Like, you
made you
tried all
fall
these
in love
different
with it?
games. Yeah,
like at first it seemed different. Like, oh, it was like it did kind of seem like, like you got to try to escape. Like it's kind of like a challenge. And then like as I got better, it's not a challenge to escape really. It's like just like you play the game. But what really got me is the mind games and stuff. Like how well you can outplay another player, or the chases. The mind games is the best way I can say it. Like just thinking, how can I outplay this player, and then going forward from tile to
yeah,
tile. But I guess
yeah,
like that.
yeah. You're
That's
not.
kind of
I
the
get what you mean. You're not meaning like actual like mind game, like hiding red stain, but more or less like I'm going to outplay this person. Like I'm going to think about what
yeah,
they're going to
yeah,
do.
like
Like
like mental
Outsmarting.
games,
yeah,
not like
yeah, exactly.
physical. Yeah,
Almost like chess.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly how I see it.
And what about you, Mimi?
I don't know. Like when I started playing DVD, I was fresh off of like doing competitive Red Dead Online PvP. Literally.
Competitive.
What?
Yeah, dude.
What?
Literally.
That
Like that
is-
is it is well, it was a thing. Yeah, it's not a thing anymore. Obviously.
What?
The death
Oh,
of
it's
the
a
game.
thing.
But it was very much so. Dude, they used to call it CVC. It was like crew versus crew. And it was same thing as like comp DVD. Like you had restricted loadouts. You can use every gun, like you were restricted on guns and shit. There were specific locations that you went, depending on like how many people you had. Like
What?
it was a real
That's
thing. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And it like when people talk about the DBD community being toxic, I laugh my ass off. Like if you compare it to what Red Dead was, dude, I was getting DDoSed every week.
Oh my god.
Every week. It got to the point where I had to put a VPN on my router because people were doing that shit. So for me, DBD was like a breath of fresh air, dude. Like for me, I was like, I'm done with this shit. And like I always watched DVD and like I knew of DVD, and people suggested DVD to me back in like 2016, and I'm lazy. I just didn't do it. Because that's me. I have an addictive personality, So if I'm into one thing, like I probably won't transition away from it. So thankfully, I finally like did make the jump, and I don't know. For me, DVD was never really serious. I never took the game very seriously, and I think that probably translates to my gameplay also. For me, it was just that breath of fresh air, and it is fun. Like for me, it is a party game. Like I do see it that way. And I'm not bored of it yet. At least no time soon will I be.
That's fair.
So yeah, I don't know. Obviously, the chase aspect is the best part.
Yeah.
Beamer shit is always fun. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know why I love it, but I do for many different reasons, I guess.
That's
It goes
fair.
like on and off competitively for me, because like you were saying, kind of like a chess match. I love the aspect of how there's 4 players and there's these generators, and like as a team, I'm gonna split on this gen 2 7 5, and like you get optimal pressure, so like a killer can't stop you. Like those kind of mind games like that. It's a game. It's a game that's not just like a party game like people see it sometimes. Like, but it can be a party game to
Yeah.
me. Like you can just, fuck around and do whatever, or you can really make it like a real thinking game, which is why it's kind of cool to me. It's one of the first games that I've seen that I could play it either way if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, this I kind of feel how both you guys said it, like both ways, where it's just the mind games, the chess match you kind of have against the other player, and then I like the casualness of it. So I definitely resonate with what both you guys said.
Is it a
Um,
checkmate every time you fake a window and a Bubba falls for it? Is that what we mean?
It's checkmate when you fake a window and above a refs saw.
Just like a win, just like a little win, I wanted to go back to Twitch real quick, and just talk about your guys' audience. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an opportunity to describe how it feels to have an audience, and
I'll kiss you all.
And specifically, what do you love about your viewers?
Well, like I said before, I started with literally nothing, dude. So to have an audience in the first place is crazy to me. It's fucking wild, and an audience that's there routinely. You know, I learned a lot in my very, very short time that I started streaming so far, and it's like I've noticed that some people will show up for like 2 weeks and then they're gone. Like you just don't see them again, or you might see them again in like 2 months. You know,
Yeah.
which is cool. Like that's whatever. But like it's the people that show up once and then they fucking stay forever. You know, that's crazy to me. In a very good way. So I feel like my community is just kind of like it's from all walks of the DVD realm. You know, like I started very much so first getting like a lot of these Stranger Things people. You know, like that piece of the community. Obviously, being an Nancy main, that's kind of expected. And then it kind of just branched out to everywhere. Like I feel like my community is made up of like little chunks of people through different pockets of the DVD community, which I love. You know, I wouldn't want to be one dimensional in that aspect. So I'm really appreciative of everybody. And like Nini said, I'll kiss you all.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I love having an audience. Like, I'm one of those people that thrives off of having people watch me. Whenever I'm in
RT.
a Discord, I instantly like share my screen or whatever. I'm like, yo, watch this, watch this. Like, I love that shit. And when it comes to my viewers, bro, like, I love my viewers. Everyone is so compassionate. I feel like I'm such a moron sometimes all the time. And like people are either like extremely caring or like it's like my friends that are like drilling me like because they're friends, but it's always so motivating and I couldn't be more thankful to even have one viewer. So
Awesome.
Sometimes, all the time.
but I'm a sometimes all the time kind of man.
No, I was gonna say. So Mimi earlier mentioned you basically said about the flashlights being changed, like with the aim and like the update. You know how you used to play like male characters, but not as much anymore. What are both of you guys' thoughts on the upcoming changes that are coming to the game, and what would you guys like to add to the game as well?
I think it's stupid how they just keep changing the flashlight angle. I think it's just
Mhm.
coming with like the development of the game, like how they they do graphics. They just always keep trying to, I don't know, freshen it up a little. But
Mhm.
no, if you know me, you know my opinions are like really passive. Like even though things are game changing, it never really bothers me too much. I do think the 4-man slug system is pretty corny, honestly. It kind of like
Yeah.
looks corny. Like everything about it's kind of like corny, like the blood on the screen. It's all just like
Yeah.
it's like fucking stupid
See, I felt the same way. I agree.
CGI Mortal Kombat looking like
Like
it's
flashes
not
your
for me.
screen. Yeah, no.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be crazy with Unbreakable. I'm sure it'll create a lot more easier opportunities for dumb TikTok moments for Squirt and I type shit. You know, like it'll be fun. It'll still be a fine game, and I kind of hope that it doesn't always stay as a 4-man death slug kind of system. I feel like it could be
Mm,
more optimized than that, but I haven't quite thought of a better way yet, so I don't have too much to
yeah.
bag on it.
Do you think the Unbreakable changes specifically will affect a lot of the game? Because I've been in the minority in saying it won't, but I know a lot of people have been like, "It's so OP," and I really don't think so. So, what do you think about that?
I don't think it's gonna change the game that much. I think everyone whines and bitches and says they get slugged every time they press start on the DVD menu. And they're gonna be fine. It's someone's gonna get up once a game because someone is gonna get up once a game on average probably because they were slugged with the new changes, which
Yeah.
is okay, I guess.
Usually, it's in a game the killer's already winning, so it's like
Because
yeah,
now all of a sudden the killer can win when everyone's on the ground, so that
yeah,
kind of needs to happen.
We did talk about that episode 1 too, where we were just kind of talking about how anytime they change any part of the game, no matter how big or small, the community is up in arms
yeah.
Oh
about
yeah,
everything.
they
But
lost their
like,
limbs. Their arms are flying through the sky.
but like, then you actually play it, and it's no different. Like we were talking about how people were crying about base kit BT. It has not changed
Yeah.
anything about
Yeah.
the way that
It's a
games
thing.
work. You know what I mean? Like either the killer
Yeah.
takes a hit right off the bat and then tunnels you anyway, or he just doesn't like go for you. That there's one of two scenarios. And people
Yeah.
just get like they just cry about anything. How do you feel about recent game changes, Mimi?
I'll be honest, like the most recent PTB with that, I didn't play it at all, and I have no intention to do so either. But from what aren't the slug changes coming out later on?
Yeah.
They're not coming out.
Yeah,
of next
yeah, they're not
year.
coming out anytime soon. So I don't know. I feel like they're gonna take in a lot of feedback from that shit and see. So I don't even know if that's gonna stay the way it is, you know.
Right.
But even if it does, I mean, like I feel like it'll have some change to the fact that like, okay, so you're gonna get a lot more fucking starstruck nurses. Like you're gonna get a ton of nurses trying to go for a 4-man slug and do like a speed run kind of thing. Otherwise, I really don't think it's gonna change that much. Like unless a killer sees like an amazing opportunity right in front of them, you know. I feel like if you went onto the PTB right now, you're gonna run into more of that because that's like what people are testing, you know. PTB is so inaccurate to what the live servers are ever gonna do, or how people are gonna act on live server gameplay. So I really like I don't see much change happening, and
Agree.
if it does, like even that whatever change comes from it is probably going to be pretty minimal, you know. Even like the gen speed difference from the last patch, you know, going from 80 seconds to 90 seconds, like we were still able to break a world record with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and the record that we placed was actually pretty fucking close to what the previous gen speed record was.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, at the end of the day, like I don't think it's going to change much. People just like to complain, and that's cool too. Go off.
Complaining's cool.
Yeah. It's cool to
They
complain.
do love to do it.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem with that patch was the nat, not the gen speed.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
ooh.
Definitely.
Like well together, but like the nat. Really
Yeah.
hit.
As Swart would
Yeah.
say, I'm seeing red just thinking about it.
Yeah. I'm seeing red like I'm
Yeah,
the
for
fourth
real.
down slug. Like
Shaking.
Yeah.
I do want to quickly backtrack a little. So, Mimi mentioned a special killer in Dead by Daylight. Some of you might know her as Sally. Some of you might know her as the nurse killer.
That's Slinger. Oh.
Bubba,
That,
the mastermind.
that brings us to the next question, which is who are your guys' favorite killers to play as and against?
Ninny.
Well, definitely nurse. I'm a nurse lover.
That's
I'm
why I
a
was
nurse
like,
crutch.
that's a good little transition.
Yeah, I'm a nurse crutch. I mean, I love playing Bubba too. I'm a chase Bubba, flick
Mhm.
Bubba, moonsaw Bubba too. But nurse, I would say also maybe like Blight, but Billy. But my least favorite killer to play. Oh wait, wait, hold on. We're talking about against. I would say nurse. Blight. Actually, you know what? It's all the same. I like playing the same killers that I like to go against. Like literally, nurse, Blight, Bubba, Billy. That's probably about my top 4. But my least favorite killer to go against is definitely either a clown or a pyramid head, and it's just personal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm a Jeffrey Hawk defender, so I can't relate to that. I do defend the Hawk a lot, but
It has nothing to do
anyways.
with like screen effects, anything like that. I just hate the hindered and the.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
How about you,
Yeah.
Mimi? I know you like Sadako.
To play as? Oh, I
Mhm.
mean, like, it could be satisfying if you are going for like the 4K Mori, sure. But Sadako is fucking rough to play. That's why I don't play her that much anymore. It got really tough. And I mean, like,
Agreed.
there's like 2 builds to be successful with Sadako. One would be, you know, going for the 4K Mori, and that's all fun. That's how I started playing Sadako. So, fun fact: when Sadako first came out in that month, I was 18 in the world for Condemn.
Damn.
Yeah, and I started playing that way on the PTB with Sadako. I love how, you know, One Pump Willie comes out, it's there, like gets featured by Ots, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, have
Mimi
you
was the
seen this
first.
style?" Yeah, bro, I was the first. Get the fuck out of
Ots,
there.
run him his check for real.
But no, and then the second style is using Pensamento and like utilizing your teleports to light the shit out of your totems as fast as you can. But also like I would use like Thrill to slow down. Like so Thrill would be used to discourage booning. And then this was back when Ruin was Ruin, you know, not with the most recent changes.
Not ass.
Yeah,
essentially.
now I actually don't know what I would sub. I haven't ran that build in a while. I don't know what I would sub out Ruin for, but
Maybe some Devour, Undying, Thrill, Pentiment.
yeah, something totem related, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Shadowborn.
like Sadako is fun to play as if you're doing well, you know, like otherwise like it's just rough, bro. It's just
So,
really, really
yeah.
rough, you know. I mean, you could run like passive phase stuff, add-ons, to like help you out in chase, and you could get some mind games that way, which definitely works. Like her phase coming out of her demanifest stage, it could be tricky.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like she's a pain to play as. Like there could be a lot of quality of life changes to her that can make her a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah. I
But
was gonna say.
my favorite,
Sorry, go
yeah.
on.
No, I was gonna say my favorite killer to go against is definitely Bubba, without question.
Agree.
Like hands down Bubba.
Is Sadako still your favorite to play as though, or do you have a different one that you've like
Nah,
enjoyed
that's
recently?
still Bubba.
No, I mean like
That's
to
still
play
Bubba.
as, not to
Yeah,
play
to play
against.
as. Yeah, it's still Bubba.
Okay.
Definitely. Either that or like, I mean, you know, curse me for this, but Plague. I used to be a Plague main before Sadako.
I was gonna say about when you were talking about how rough she is.
Mhm.
I anytime I play killer, which is not often, I stream it to Swart. And the last time I played Onryo was the last time I will ever play Onryo. And
Mhm.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, it's tough.
She is a really, I always respect people who actually enjoy playing her, because holy fuck how.
That's dude. That's the other reason why I don't like playing. Like you have to sweat every game.
Yeah.
Like
The thing, it's she's one of those killers for me that's like completely dependent on so many different variables of
Yeah,
whatever's
definitely.
happening in your game. Like the
well, you got to
like I
depend on
said,
her TV RNG too,
TV RNG,
because that changes.
who you're playing against. If they have a boon, like you're pretty much fucked if you're not
Yeah.
running any.
Perks. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's so like I said, last time I played her, I don't think I'll ever play her again after that one.
Yeah,
I think
it's pretty
she's
rough.
she's one of those killers that just feel like you get steamrolled, but like you could do well
Exactly.
with like one
Mhm.
gen or like 5 gens done, but it's like that like overwhelming feeling of just getting like steamrolled so quick is like almost a lot when you play her. Like Oni's another killer. Like if you can't get a hit quick, like you feel like you're just getting smacked, and it's like you can
Right.
you almost play worse because you're like, oh, they're just popping gens left to right. I got 0 hooks, but like really, you just need that 1 or 2 M1s Oni, and you can just win the game quick. Twins is
Yeah.
another one. Like, there's a lot of killers in the game that kind of feel like they just get steamed in gens, but you can really turn it around. That's just kind of like their play style, and it's just it can be
She's
overwhelming sometimes.
She's one of those killers that's a hit and run. And like for me, I was playing like Groaning Storehouse or something and they had a boon up. So they would just run to the boon anytime I hit them. And it was like in a dead zone where like all the gens were done. There was no reason for me to be there. It felt horrible. Like some killer games with her just feel so rough. And like you said, just getting steamrolled the whole time. And yeah, I always respect people who enjoy playing her, but I respect Bubba players even more, so that's funny.
Hell yeah.
He's just so fun.
Bubba,
If you
yeah,
hate
that's
Bubba,
king.
you're weak.
Yeah, I agree.
I wish people would play Bubba more in a like I feel like a lot of people just play Bubba in like the I just WQ a chainsaw break palette. I wish more people picked up on like trying to use the chainsaw in like more crazy ways.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be so awesome to see like a random wave of players just like playing Bubba like Moonsawing and like doing all these crazy things that you see some people do, but it's so rare. It just kind of, it's almost like curve Billy. You just don't see it that much.
Well,
It'd be
because
so
some
awesome.
people find it hard, you know, just
It
like
is hard,
Curve,
yeah.
It is hard, yeah. I mean, like it's easy to tantrum on random shit throughout the map, like shit that just like shouldn't have collision, you know, but it fucking does. Like
Yeah.
a random tire that's
Garden of Joy.
Garden of,
for
I was
whatever
gonna
reason.
say,
Yeah, Garden of Joy, the bushes, dude. Yeah.
lovely Garden
Even-
of Joy bushes.
Yeah.
Even them like the filler palettes on like Autohaven, like sometimes there'd be a random like tire a little sticking
Yeah,
out a
that's
little
what I'm
more. It's
talking
like,
about.
well, are you
Yeah.
serious? Like,
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
glitches a
nah.
lot too. Like we hit a random window, like just randomly somewhere. I'm pretty sure playing the other day. Like,
yeah,
it's so
no,
strange.
it's so weird.
Yeah.
Um,
Least favorite killer to play against, though, by the way, definitely it's turning into Wesker.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's
Do you think
turning
that's
into
because
Wesker.
he's
No, because I think he needs a very specific nerf, and I'm not saying like, oh, he's too overpowered. No. I'm just saying that people can start exploiting this, like, and I think people are going to begin exploiting this pretty rough. For his M2 cooldown, if he misses, he gets no punishment whatsoever. In fact, he doesn't even really get a speed punishment.
yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me. If you miss your M2, your second M2, you need to have a speed punishment. You can't keep the same fucking speed as me as I'm
Yeah.
trying to get to a safer tile. Otherwise, people are just going to continue utilizing him to not only zone you, but when they zone you, utilize their M2 perfectly to get right on top of you, and now you can't get anywhere.
I
At
was
all.
just watching M play and I literally said
Yeah.
that exact thing. And I said it's crazy because like you can miss your power and there's no punishment. And another killer that reminds me of is Pyramid Head on release. Ninny probably remembers this. When they first dropped Pyramid Head, he was so like a lot of people already don't like him now. He was so miserable because there was no cooldown from the M2 and the M1. You would M2 fake even like harder than you could ever M2 fake on any killer ever. Like it was almost like old Deathslinger, and it was so rough.
He'd put the sword in the ground and just slap you.
Yeah, it would just like tap it and he just M1 immediately. Like you couldn't do anything about it. And it was like they had to nerf it like pretty hard. Like it's way different now because they had a hefty like it feels more sluggish. Like you slow down a little more. But like they need to add something like that with Wesker because you can just do it for distance, or you can just miss and you can just stay like same speed. It's no punishment.
Yeah, like I think the only nerf that needs to be done is just like on that missed second M2, like just lose speed, dude. Like have a stagger. Like he has no stagger. His stagger is the fact that he can't swing while he's still moving the same fucking speed as you.
Yeah. I think one underrated aspect of him too is you can kind of people don't do it at all, and I think people should. You can tunnel one. You can hit with your power, get them on hook, tunnel that person until they just get passive infected like Max, and they're just gonna be hindered. And it's an easy tunnel, and then you can just do it again. You can just completely focus one person that's infected until they get their infection maxed, and it's gonna be the easiest chase of your life every time because they're gonna end up going 80% slower. And it's very oppressive. It's just not fun for that
person. To be added to that, by the way, DS doesn't work with when he actually like insta pixie like that.
Really? I didn't know that.
It doesn't work. Yeah, I was trying to record a video some weeks back, like using like a DS build, and that happened, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck, for real?
That's interesting. I mean,
yeah, DS doesn't trigger. It's almost like like you said with Pyramid Head. It's almost like as if he sends you to the cage.
Yeah,
you need to stop adding killers that have light born out of their power, like Dragon.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't know where that came from. What genius?
We talked about this
in the back of the office, but
we talked about this too, episode 1. But like, all of the recent killers, for whatever reason, just have like the most weirdly complicated powers. Like, what happened to Huntress? She just throws a fucking hatchet at you, and now like the Dredge has Nightfall. He can teleport to lockers, pull you out of them. You can't blind him out of them, but also he has anti-loop and like all this different shit. It's like, bro, yeah, M2 fakes, brother. Just release a killer that's simple. I don't know.
That bump off wall.
We did want to ask you guys. We've been kind of talking about how there are quite a few issues with this game. Quite a few. So how do you feel like DBD can be improved currently in any way you can think of? Like, what are some issues that you see frequently, whether it be with community, the game in general? What kind of changes would you guys like to see? The meta, what kind of changes would you guys like to see?
It's weird because you say that, because I think about it, like I honestly don't know. Like I was saying before, if you know me, my opinions are really passive, and I kind of just like playing the game as it is. And I was saying how like this 4 slug system is kind of corny or whatever, but how the game was, I think killers being buffed how they were was amazing because as a survivor main to me, because I was sick of 10-minute queues. I get in a game instantly all the time now, and like games are a little slower. Okay, like it's whatever. I don't really have any problem with the current meta of Dead by Daylight, and I feel like I should, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
You kind of just roll with it, all the changes.
Yeah, I'm really just rolling with it, and I feel like one day the game's gonna take it too far to where it clicks in my brain, and it's like, okay, now this isn't the game I really fell in love with, but for right now, to me it's still just Dead by Daylight.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm kind of on that side too. Like I don't know what I would change. Like I feel like even the changes that are to come, like kind of just rolling with it. Like I don't think that even if they did stay with how that Mori system is going to go, right? The slug Mori system. Like, okay. Like that's not going to be the worst thing in the world. You're still going to have games that you're going to shit on teams, or you're going to shit on a killer, or you're going to get shit on, Like I don't think that it's like, at least in terms of like I guess you could say like a high MMR gameplay where everybody's sweating, like at the end of the day, everybody's going to be a good player. Like I don't think the game changes. I think the game changes are gonna affect more newer players than anything else.
Right.
I think where the game is going is probably gonna be fine. will continue to be fine. I mean, like at the end of the day, they're doing all this. Like there's not a Dead by Daylight sequel, so this is kind of the sequel to keep running off of this, you know, which makes sense. Like obviously the game is going to change over a span of 6 years and continue to change if they decide to follow out a decade of just this, you know. So I don't know. I feel like I agree with Denny. You know, maybe one day I'll wake up and be like, wait a second, what the fuck is going on?
I'll wake up.
I'll wake up and the first thought on my mind.
And I feel like those are really healthy mindsets to have, because a lot of the kids in the DVD community, they see one change they don't like. I'm quitting. This is my last TikTok, guys.
Stretch Raz.
That's my favorite shit, dude. That's
Stretch
my favorite
Raz. This
shit.
is my last
Stretch
TikTok.
Raz, yeah.
Stretch Raz. This is
I
my last
quit.
TikTok.
I quit. So it's kind of refreshing to hear people that don't do that and just roll with whatever, you know, changes happen in the game. I think it's a really healthy mindset when it comes to playing, and I hope more people really develop that mindset with all the new changes that are inevitably gonna come. Not even just with the you know, the base kit Unbreakable and the Mori system and stuff, but even changes that come out after that. I think it's nice to just hear content creators not have issues with it and just roll with it. It's cool.
The game's gonna constantly change.
Exactly.
It's gonna constantly, like, it's always gonna be different.
To be fair, I wanted to piggyback off of what both you guys said, because I think the most boring thing about the game right now is the actual killer meta. With like, people don't really understand how strong playing for a 3-gen with Collab Eruption Overcharge truly is.
It's
Like,
pretty stupid.
it
and
is
boring.
the strongest strategy, almost. And like, I think because I talked to Momo about it, which he's one of the best, literally Blight players right now, world win streak, world record. Like, he is one of the best competitive players in DBD. He said it himself. That strategy is the best ever in DBD that we've ever seen, because there's just like, it is so powerful if you have a mobility killer just playing a 3-gen and just kick, and they cannot do anything. The gens go down so quick, and once you get it down, and if they're on a gen, they can't do anything for 25, 30 seconds. Like, it is so boring. On top of it, it's extremely strong. I like all the changes they did say, like Nini said, like the breaking pallets faster and like the base kit, like 2 stacks of biffle. But I feel like if it had that plus the old meta where it was like painters pop, like I think that was a good meta because it rewarded you for playing well as killer. You were getting downs, you were getting pain res, you had to go kick a gen, your pop would be coming off of getting a hook. Like, instead now it's like you can have one hook and one gen left, and you just go kick with Eruption, Collab Overcharge, and just play a 3-gen, and you just win the game. It's so easy and so good. And I think that's just a boring like strategy for the game right now. And I wish they would like kind of nip it in the butt in one of these updates, and then bring another perk to relevance, like bring Ruin back even, or bring Pop back, because Pop was my favorite killer perk. I thought it was the most balanced, and I thought it was the best killer perk like they could have ever designed, because it's rewarding you for playing the game well.
I feel like a lot of the people that play like that though, they'll play like that for, I don't know, say a month, and then they're probably gonna get bored of the game.
Yeah,
to be honest.
well,
Like,
they should.
Yeah, like it's boring. Like that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, that shit does suck, and yeah, I do bitch about it when it happens in a game that I'm in. But with that said, like I know that player doing that shit, they ain't gonna be doing that shit forever.
Yeah,
like,
I just wish they'd
getting
get rid
bored
of that.
Yeah,
It's
no,
so
I agree. It is fucked, but at the same time, like I said, like let that person just kind of relish in their boredom, and then they'll realize like, oh fuck, like this shit ain't fun, and then they'll be off the game altogether. So it's fine.
Yeah.
DVD community is kind of a revolving door right now.
Yeah.
When you think about it, like a lot of older players are leaving and then coming back and then leaving and then coming back. Or the new players play for a little bit and then leave. Like, it's just one of those games where I think like if it bores them, it's gonna bore them off the bat.
What is both your guys' like dream collab for DBD? Whether it's like a license, or do you guys have an idea for like a certain, like, you know, like a lot of people wanted a night killer, right? And that was kind of announced that it's coming. So like a non-license, if you have an idea for like a certain, like you want to drag it as a killer, I don't know. Like, do you guys have a dream collab for DBD, a license or non-license, like killer or chapter?
I don't even want to say it.
Say it.
What do you mean?
What is it?
Bro, I've been an advocate for months, bro. Bring Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, I
Oh my
agree.
god.
I agree.
I've been riding that wave for months, bro. I want to see an animatronic killer so bad. Shit would go so hard.
They would look so stupid knowing behavior though. It would look
I would- I
so
would-
bad.
Nah, I'd pray for
I have
the
hope.
best.
I
It'd
have
be all
hope.
it'd be all
Yeah.
clunky.
But think about the community that brings.
Yeah, I was gonna say that with what we
Yeah.
just saw with Wesker,
Right.
like, oh my goodness, like Five Nights at Freddy would be crazy.
Oh, it would be
Those are-
go.
Those
dude,
are
it would
free
go
2 taps
crazy.
with my nurse.
You'd see Freddy for 3 months.
Well, we talk about that too with how they're gonna bring Stranger Things back. When
Mhm.
Vecna drops, the
Yeah,
community
Oh my
is gonna
God, yeah.
explode.
it's
But
gonna be
same
Those
with, like-
Nancy mains though are gonna
Oh, yeah.
explode. What's good, bro?
Same with
Whoa.
Same with Five Nights at Freddy's. I feel like that's gonna bring so many people into the
Yeah.
community, which
Yeah,
I personally like to see.
yeah.
I want to see it. I want a 2-tap 6-year-old Albert. Just fucking flying with that chest.
It's just rough because everyone just hammers that. Like, we've seen it with Wesker, and we've seen it with other really popular licenses, like Nemesis with another one. Like, you just saw him so much on release. Like, I feel like if with Freddy or Vecna, it's gonna just be that killer for literally like 2 months. Like, it's gonna be so bad. But
I'm still not
hopefully
bored
they
of
be fun.
Wesker.
Yeah.
I cannot relate.
Anyways.
to that. I cannot
Anyways.
relate to that.
Anyway, I'm still not bored of Wesker.
What about you,
Um,
Mimi?
I'm gonna say this just because it's fresh on my brain, but art from Terrifier would be
Oh
a
my
fucking
god.
hilarious and amazing addition to this game. I don't know that it's gonna bring much in terms of like a community. It's gonna bring like the weird B-list horror community for sure, which is cool. But like, it's basically, if you're unfamiliar with the Terrifier movies, well, now there's 2. It's just like pure, unexplained, just gore garbage, and it's so good. It's just like this clown that goes around, just like brutally killing people. But it's great. It's great.
You'd
It's a lot
rather
of
that
fun.
than Pennywise, or
Yeah, fuck that. I never liked it.
what?
Never liked
Yo,
it.
what about the
Nah.
Rubber movie? The
Rubber is
movie
so
with-
good, yo. We could
Bro,
talk about
what
Rubber,
about
bro.
the tire? What about the tire?
The tire, imagine having the tire from Rubber in, dude, that would be, first off, again, let me tell you, that would bring in a giant audience of the B-list
Oh,
horror
yeah.
lovers. But Rubber was fucking hilarious, dude. I loved that movie.
Oh, I made
It's
a
so
tire.
good.
You'll imagine Locker saving a tire.
What would a
Dude,
spin
that'd be
even
so
look
good.
like? How would you even like? How would he M1? Like, what would it look like for him? Would he just dash past you? Like,
Well, he has like telekinetic power, so like,
Oh my god.
right?
would
But everyone has an
imagine-
M1 power. You know, everyone has an M1. So like, what would his M1 even look like? That's what I
It'd be
was
something
saying.
like Sadako.
yeah,
a
something like
whoosh of
Sadako
air.
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Just spin a tire, hits a wall. Like, yeah.
If you
easy.
haven't seen Rubber, you should watch Rubber. Seriously.
he blends in with the Auto Haven tires. Like, side effect when you play Auto Haven only.
That would be so
Yo.
good. I actually always
would
had
be-
an idea for a DBD killer called the Mimic or something, to where like it's basically Survivor running around.
See,
But-
people thought that was what Legion was going to be when
Yeah,
Legion was
Legion.
first
Yeah,
announced
yeah,
with
yeah.
the trailer. That was when I
Yeah.
first really got heavy into DBD, and I remember looking that up. People thought Legion was going to be like that, like he was going to be like Survivor, but then like you wouldn't know if he's a Survivor or not, and he would just like jump scare you and shit. Instead,
would be
it's Min
sick,
Simulator.
dude.
The only thing is like you would never be able to do that because of Swifts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Never.
yeah, I know.
They would have to do
Yeah.
some crazy.
Yeah, but think about every Swift you've been in. Has your communication been fantastic every
Oh,
time?
Our communication is fantastic every
Yeah.
time. Oh,
They know
our-
clocks.
Oh, we
Yeah.
know clocks. I don't. Our communication top notch.
For sure. Yeah.
I've only been
Oh,
bled
instead
out
of-
600,000 times. So.
Instead of basement Bubba, it's Auto Haven Rubber.
Yeah, dude.
He helps on the tires,
What-
and you gotta
what if-
find him.
If you spun him out, would he just pop?
he's
that would
just,
be cool.
he can't move. He has to air
can't
up.
move. He's just stuck there for the rest
Yeah,
of the game.
he has to go find an air pump. He has to air himself back up so he can fly around the map
The
again.
mechanic
Oh my
comes
god, that's
in.
his power!
He flies around the map. He just like dives at you like a bird.
He gets air pumps.
It's so good.
There's no gens, it's only air pumps. You have to sabotage the air pumps so like the tire cannot like
Sabotage
air
the
up.
air
Yeah,
pumps.
yeah.
Oh, that actually kind of brings out a good idea. Like,
Dude.
what if there was a killer where it just completely changed the objective? Like, there weren't even gens. Like, you had to do something else.
Like Vecta could do some shit like that, low key.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like clock towers or clocks or something, you know?
That would be cool.
That'd be
Yeah.
really cool.
You have to work on clocks.
Yeah, but not just like another like not just like, not just like another like grab me kind of thing. Like, it could
Yeah.
even be like some kind of like big objective. I don't know, like one thing that like everyone has to do.
Speaking of that, do you guys think there should be another objective added for survivors? Like, do you think gens go too fast and they should add like, you know, I know a lot
Well, I
of people
mean-
brought up like finding an item so you can even unlock the gen, things like that. Like,
no true talent. I'm good.
I mean, that's gonna
think-
happen anyway. Like they've been.
think
That's
so?
yeah. I mean, that's been what's happening. You know.
Probably.
I mean,
Well,
they've been
killer
in
powers,
micro
yeah.
form. They've
Yeah,
been in
killer
micro form,
powers,
you know,
chain
but-
hunts, boxes,
Yeah.
etc. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's gonna continue happening. I don't think that's
Yeah.
gonna go away.
infections.
Yeah.
I think that's a tricky line to cross.
Mm,
yeah.
You officially cross that line into something that happens every game, it might become a little.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like, what if Blight had that? You know what I mean? What if
Yeah.
Nurse had that? It's like, it's
Or
a
even
lot.
Pinhead where
Right.
you already have an extra objective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
exactly. I think too, like, just the pressure those top tier killers would get from that would be like, it would feel like you can never win a game against, like, especially like a lethal Nurse that you have to go do another objective. She's just downing someone before you even do that other objective. So it's like, there's nothing you can do about it.
yeah.
But that'd be interesting if they. I would just like to see more game modes. That would be a fun game mode, like a 3v2, like an 8v2, like some shit like that. I just really wish they would do something like that one day.
Billy surfing.
Billy surfing.
For real. Billy surfing would go hard.
Just Blight bumps only. Like,
Oh yeah, you could you could set it up like it's Overwatch and Doomfist. Like you're
yeah, that's what I was, that's what I was
and-
thinking
and
about.
you
That's
have,
exactly what I was thinking about.
little parkour spots that you have to like perfectly bump over like one to the other to the other.
Yeah.
That'd be
Like
so
Nurse
sick.
blinks, things like
That'd be
that.
sick.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, But I wish they had something. I really wish that an 8v2 would be a thing. Like, just intermix two auto haven maps. Like, instead of the wall, just have like Blood Lodge into Gas Heaven, and then just like it's literally just two maps, and then just two different killers, 8 survivors. Like, I feel like that'd be awesome. It'd be
AV2 would be
chaotic.
so much fun. That would
Yeah,
be such
literally
a
slap
fucking
two
fun
maps
time, dude.
next to each other. No edge map wall. Just two killers, 8 survivors. Just go crazy. Two Bubbas. Like, let's. Mimi, you would like doing private server stuff then. You should look into that.
Yeah, I've
That's
seen
fun.
people do like AV2s and shit like that too.
Yeah, that'd be really
Yeah,
fun. If I was
Yeah.
talking to Em about it, we should get a bunch of people on there and do it. That'd be kind of fun.
I
Do
would
like
definitely
giant
be down.
survivors or giant killers and stuff. It's
Yeah, I
so
was
cool.
actually
be
talking
down.
to a friend.
Shout out Tony.
Yeah, but actually, shout out Tony. Tony said that to me.
Yeah.
I just said what I mean. Tony, yeah, we were talking about doing some stuff like that. It'd be a lot of fun. I feel like.
Yeah.
Can you stream that, or is that like
they
Yeah,
that
yeah.
not
totally.
make
allowed?
content on it. They make YouTube videos on it.
right? That's
So
what I'm
I would
saying. Like, why wouldn't
imagine
you be
you
able
could.
to? Yeah, I'm curious because it's technically like modding the game.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, like is that weird? I don't know.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. They made YouTube videos and like with hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of views with it.
Yeah,
So like I
yeah.
would imagine you could maybe stream it. I don't know what
Yeah,
would it be against it. I don't
yeah. Fuck it. I would do it. I don't give a fuck. Report me.
All right. We do have some specific questions for you guys. We already kind of talked about Sadako with you, Mimi.
Mhm.
Are there any specific quality of life changes that you would like to see?
Oh,
her
yeah.
get? And what would those be?
Definitely. First off, make the tapes more oppressive. I mean, like you can do that in a build with add-ons, but you know, it could go a step further to where more people would be enticed and actually enjoy playing her. You know, I think if you're in her terror radius, you should passively gain condemn, which could be really fun if like a Sadako is running distressing or something, you know, or even if, you know, you run dark devotion and you have your obsession running around injured and they're just passing around condemned to everybody. You could do a lot of fun builds if that was the case. Additionally, I think that if you are full condemned, you should suffer from the exposed status effect for like 20 seconds or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are like, with those two changes, I think those would be healthy changes that might not cross that threshold. Because Sadako is that weird killer that is bad, but it's like such a fine line of if you add a buff to her, suddenly she's gonna
She
become
could be
OP.
really strong.
Yeah. Suddenly she'll be a fucking S tier killer. So
she does
you
have
just
a
have
lot
to
of
be careful.
potential, for
She
sure.
does have potential. It's just like that potential line is just so like it's very thin. You just have to be
Yeah.
careful with the buffs that you do that. But I think those two changes that I mentioned, it would be healthy enough to where she wouldn't be overpowered. She would turn, from like a F tier killer to like, a healthy B or something,
Mm-hmm. So then that leads me to my next question. So I kind of mentioned that the last time I played her was the last time I will ever play her.
Mhm.
What advice do you really have for people who are looking to be better with her or looking to at least have fun with her?
Dude, first and foremost, there's not gonna be any fun with her. I'm gonna be so honest with you. Like, if I'm being so real, it's not fun because like to get better with her, you have to sweat. And this is why I don't like playing as her anymore. Like, because I have no interest in sweating in killer games anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I played her hardcore, like I was sweating my ass off every game. Like playing super oppressive. Like if a chase didn't make sense, I immediately left it, which I don't like doing, period. Like I enjoy taking chase. But yeah, just playing super fucking sweaty with a really sleepy build, or if you're going for like the condemned 4K Mori, like again, that's still not that fun. Like you have to be aware of how many stacks every survivor has, where they're going to be on the map, what they're doing. Pay attention to like, okay, are you carrying a tape? Which if you're unaware, like it'll show like the static on their icon, and you can see if they're carrying a tape or not. And this way you can kind of, tunnel them out basically. Yeah, it just
Toxic.
depends. Yeah, that's the thing though. Like it toxic as a joke, but at the end of the day, it's just like sleepy, sweaty stuff.
Yeah.
You want to get better at her, sweat your fucking ass off. Then you can get better at her. But at the end of the day, like for what cost? Like what reward does that give you? It's not that fun. Like what that you could say like, oh yeah, I routinely 3K or 4K as a fucking shitty killer. As
Yeah.
like one of the shittiest killers in the game, dude. So I don't know, but if you do want to get better at her, just run a really oppressive build in terms of like gen speed perks. If you save is really good on her, obviously. If you're looking to like take chase with her, run like the extra phasing add-ons and run Bloody Fingernails. Bloody Fingernails will give you extra speed for a longer period of time out of a TV teleport. And then you could I forget the name of the other add-on, but basically it increases how long you're invisible for when you're coming out of demanifest. Which if you're at like a filler tile, that's an easy GG that you can actually win that chase. It's where you don't have to like eat the pallet, or even worry about it. Like it'll be a quick down for the most part. Especially like if you have save, you could 2-tap in a dead zone pretty quickly. So yeah.
And then on the other side of things, I mean, Ninny, you main a killer that is inarguably the strongest in the game.
I think
Um,
she's all right.
She's
so,
She's
so I
decent.
mean, on your side of things, so Sadako obviously isn't super strong. Nurse is very strong. What changes do you think could definitely benefit her gameplay?
Well, I'll start by saying I think I started playing Nurse because she is the strongest killer in the game, and I'm a competitive player. Like I like to play things at the highest tier a lot of the time. So like I want to get good with like the best I can be, So like that's probably like really why I started playing her. But her absolute biggest problem was range, which was changed. Like now the speed of her blinks was her biggest problem. But now I think the best way you could fix her is changing her blink attacks to M2 attacks and not as M1s, because it shouldn't work with Starstruck. Like you shouldn't be able to have exposure or be able to put Sloppy Butcher on your blinks because she's already oppressive enough. Like taking all of that out would easily make her the strongest killer still. She doesn't need
Yeah.
any of it.
Yeah.
She-
And
mean-
then, sorry, do you have anything else?
no,
I was-
go ahead. What are you saying?
Sword? You
Do you
started to say
think?
something.
No. Do you think they should change? Do you think they should remove range at all, or like, do you think she needs an add-on rework in general at all?
I mean, I don't necessarily think she needs a add-on rework. I don't really see too many problems with most of her add-ons. A lot of her add-ons are really memes. I mean, like her blink back add-ons or like her insta double blink add-on. Like she has a lot of really weird add-ons. The only problem people have are like range, recharge, fatigue in that order. And I mean, fatigue's okay. Fatigue really feels like quality of life most of the time to me.
Yeah.
Recharge has kind of become a standard, I feel like, in the community. Like a lot of people just accept recharge. And if you do a 1v1, if you go in a tournament, it normally is just double recharge. That's just where her add-ons are. And the thing with range is, like I said, my biggest problem was speed. When you went into a nurse game and a nurse started blinking at you immediately, she can win the chase no matter what because she knows how fast she's gonna blink, but you don't. You don't know how fast you have to play around. So immediately you're gonna be like, oh, she's this fast or this fast. If it's a good nurse and she has sight of you, you're gonna probably take the hit, is what I'm saying. So like I really don't see a problem with the current range. I haven't played much with it either, I suppose, though, just because it's not really how I like to play, I guess.
Dirty. It's a dirty way to play.
Dirty, dirty.
Do you think that because as a former like used to play, you've dabbled in a little bit of comp DBD and you've played nurse and
Yeah.
you sweat a little bit, sometimes.
A little drip here. There.
Do you think they should add a ranked mode to Dead by Daylight? And do you think it would benefit the game at all if behavior backed an actual like pushing the competitive scene, if that makes sense?
That's a touchy topic. I think it would be really good. But the only problem is I think that if there was a competitive game mode, people may also start to think that it should be taken as a competitive game, which I really don't think it should be taken as a competitive game because at the end of the day, it's a 4v1 asymmetrical horror game. Like it's not Valorant, it's not CS:GO, you know what I mean? It's I just have I along with plenty of people just have a competitive nature, and that's why the competitive community formed, and I feel like at in the broader spectrum of things, I wish it would stay that way. I wish the large portion of the community would remain casual and the people that want to try can try. So I'm not sure if behavior backing up a competitive scene would be the best idea because it might insinuate more and more players to think of the game as a competitive game, which I don't think would be best for the game.
So do you think behavior should support like a competitive ideology on the game, or do you think because I know we've seen games before, game companies, they throw events like competitive events for money, Call of Duty,
Yeah.
whatever it is, do you think behavior should kind of push like, hey, like let's run a tournament, on Twitch with, Ots' stream and $10,000 for the team that wins? Like, do you think they should back this idea of like being more competitive or no?
I think every once in a while it might not be a bad idea. I think just not permanently as like an idea. This is competitive. Like this, I don't think a competitive mode is the answer, but I think a competitive tournament here and there it might be good for the community. It might make it might bring, if anything, interest from outside into the community.
So you don't want to see World Championship Dead by Daylight tournament hosted by Tofu and Ots? Yeah, I feel like the competitive scene is kind of. I agree with what you said. I think it's kind of it should be backed in like a casual way, but almost like that's it because it is like you said, it is a 4v1 game. So
the game should be what it is.
Yeah.
Do you think there will ever be a large amount of support for the comp scene?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not.
I mean, Mimi, you've done some tournament stuff with Tofu. Like, how do you feel about that? Those ideas?
But that wasn't comp DVD though.
I mean, it could be.
It could be, yeah, but
I
that's
don't
the reason why
know.
I did it.
Y'all were bringing brand new parts. Y'all were bringing.
That's what I'm saying.
toxic
Yeah,
perks.
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't comp DVD. It was
But-
just like it was those matches were like sweaty pub matches. That's what they were.
Yeah, to be fair though, like comp DBD though is just like it's almost fan made. Like there's no actual like legitimacy to it. Like the behavior doesn't back it. Like they don't have a rule set themselves. Like it's just fan made. Like so like really like that maybe behavior did back it eventually. Maybe that would be just like, hey, go for it. Like it's a public match, just go use whatever you want and just do your best. That might be the idea for it. You never know. That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you think?
Yeah. If that was the case, and those tournaments were put in place with those kind of rules, then maybe I would think, actually, if it was 20 G's on the line, you boys thinking about it. Trust. I'm gonna consider it for sure. But with comp DVD as it stands, I have no interest at all. because it also from a time perspective, like I ain't got time to scrim and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not
Oh my
doing
God,
that, and
scrimming?
especially
Scrimming like last year, I remember was mostly when I was playing comp. I played for Port Mafia 6. I subbed for a few other teams, and like you would meet every night at like 7 p.m. and play for like 2.5 hours on like the same map because there's an M1 game against a fucking pig next Tuesday, so we have to scrim pig on Torment Creek for fucking six days straight. Like
yeah,
it's that's how it is.
like that doesn't sound interesting to me.
Yeah.
That plus, especially with like, like I work, like like I have a life. That is
I have a
DVD.
job.
So, but like on top of that, it's just like anytime that I am playing these days, at least, pretty much I'm streaming. You know,
Mm.
so it just wouldn't work. But again, with that said, if behavior was backing, like a fucking OTS tournament for 20 G's, then I
I'd
might be
excited
like,
for that.
yeah, then I might be like, hey, oh boys, you want to you trying to get a team together? Maybe run this shit.
Actually, I think that'd be cool though. I would like them to do something like that, like a big like mainstream tournament, because they did. What was it? Not that long ago. It's like they were getting like big. They're getting like what's that guy's name? Shroud. They're getting like big other content creators like playing the game. Why
Wasn't
not
that like
like
an
favorite?
AT&T tournament or something?
yeah,
like
like
that?
why didn't we just get like the people who play the game? Because Ots is fucking huge. Like he gets 10K viewers. Like Tofu gets like 3-4. Skirms gets like 5K sometimes. Like these guys are also those are bigger streamer numbers. Like there's people who are big and like especially competitive scene in other games that get less than they do for Dead by Daylight. So it's like
Yeah,
they're big streamers. Like they could have held their own, like at least number wise, you know?
What's funny
Yeah.
too about that tournament and those bigger streamers like outside of DBD playing the game is that the game saw no growth from that.
Yeah.
And the Shroud, I think specifically said something like after he played, he's like, "I'm never playing this again." So
He's always been an
that's
FPS
so
guy.
funny. No, but it's just funny to me that like
Yeah.
they'll do these futile attempts at like branching out like that and they just don't work.
Yeah, that's why I think it would have been better just to bring in people who actually play the game, so you see how
Agreed.
it played, like with people who are actually play the game, like not just like some
Yeah,
people for the first time ever.
dude, there were robots running around all over during that shit. Like it's the reason why I didn't watch any of it. Like I tuned in a little bit and I was like, I can't watch this. Like I'm gonna fucking scream at my computer. Like like nobody knew how to play. Nobody knew what they were doing. That whole tournament would have been so much more fun to watch if you had people actually that knew what they were doing.
Agreed.
That's kind of interesting too, because like, what do you guys think of like how it is like the game is right now? Because there was a big couple months that was really popular to talk about everywhere. That was a trending topic that Dead by Daylight was dying. It was a dying game. The numbers were going down, and they were swearing that VHS was the savior, and you know all these different things, right?
It's popping.
Yeah, it's going. And what do you think? How do you think like the game stands now with the community and like the numbers it's putting up, like on Twitch, on YouTube, or just the daily games? Like, do you think Behavior's doing a good job, like supplementing us with these updates, like updating the game? Like, do you like where the game is right now, like especially in like how much people are playing it and things like that?
I will say I'm completely content with how many people are playing because I feel like if I really want to play a nurse game, it's only like 2-3 minutes. And if I go on a survivor, it's almost instant. So I'm definitely not waiting for anything. But in terms of like the growth or everything, at the current moment, in the most genuine way I can say, I don't care. Because like I get on and I play because I love the game. Like really. Like and like I'll start caring when I can tell, those queues are really dying. And like there's not that many people on, that's when I'm gonna start to care because then like I can't play my game anymore. You know what I mean? But as for now, everything seems fine for me.
Yeah. I feel the same way. Like, and especially with how queue times have been fixed, it doesn't feel like there's a negative trend in player base at all. Like because of that queue fix, it actually feels like there's more people playing than ever. Even if that's not the case. But with that said, you always get those like quick threats of other games, like VHS was VHS came and went pretty quickly. Evil Dead even kind of like posed a little bit of a threat, which Evil Dead is fun. Evil Dead was really fun, but
Home Sweet Home.
Yeah, Home Sweet Home too.
That went hard.
That did go hard. Yeah, it definitely did. But
Air Detective, I played that.
There was even
But-
like a resurgence for Friday.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Because of TikTok.
I know.
Yeah, it's because of
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yep.
All the emoting that you could do. That's one thing I would love to see in
California
DVD, actually.
girls.
I was gonna say, can we talk about that? Like, did either of you two play that? I know M played it a little bit. I played it as well. Like, did you guys play that game when it was like in its
Of
like
course.
peak? Like,
Yeah.
it was
never
fun.
played it.
Yeah, it's a
Really?
blast, man. It's a blast.
I
But
wish. What do you like? I feel like what made that game was the game chat.
yeah.
It was so funny. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Jason would be like, "Where you at? Where you at? Come out the house!" Like he'd be like shit talking you and stuff. Like, I wish DBD almost had that too, because that'd be so funny. Like, imagine like looping a Legion and he's swinging at the window, and you're like, swing and miss.
Yeah.
Like swing movie.
Yeah.
The third
That's
assault, but a
when
swing the
that's when
movie.
I'd go arf arf arf.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that'd be so funny. Like, just a little game mode, like, or it implements game chat, like things like that. I feel like that'd be awesome.
Yeah, to have an option to put in-game chat on. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
that would be
combo
funny. Yeah, right. But like I feel like TCM might be the next threat
I was gonna say too.
when
Yeah.
that comes out.
What is that?
That
Much
looks
like
fun.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
But that shit's gonna go hard, and that's a different
Oh,
That's a different
I'm a main
vibe.
Bubba.
Yeah, like I'm definitely gonna play a lot of TCM when it comes out. But what's cooler is that it's a 4v3.
Yeah. That's gonna be interesting to balance.
Yeah, but that's just gonna
Like,
go hard.
It's
for
gonna be
sure.
I feel like they're gonna have I hope it does well, but I can see it now. That game is going to have a terrible time trying to balance it, because that is just such a weird like distribution of people, like 3v4. You have to
Yeah, but-
just make sure the one side's a little strong, like, you know what I mean, to keep up with the, because you have one less player.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, but I feel like that game is taking the perspective of actually being a horror game. You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
like to where like you're not gonna be looping a Bubba. Like the objective really is to like stay hidden as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to be looping Bubba.
You're gonna be looping Bubba and get caught in a bear trap. You're gonna.
He's
It's like
Andrew,
going
he's
against
Andrew.
Bubba, Trapper, and a Legion all at the fucking same time.
They had a beta for it, right?
I think they like released, like
I didn't see anything on it.
they released like some sort of beta to like a specific set of people to
Mm,
play through, and that's it.
Damn. I should have been one of them.
But that gameplay looked sick. Like
Yeah.
I'm very excited for it. Granted,
said-
also I think that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the best horror movie ever made.
Have you ever watched them?
I have not. No.
Mm.
You should.
Okay. I will say, because Mimi did mention that a little bit. Are either of you two like? I know you guys? We talked about like bringing you like what brought you into DVD a little bit earlier, but like, was any of it because you guys were horror fanatics? Like, you guys
Yes.
love horror films or anything like that?
Yes.
Not at all.
Yeah, I'm like Ninny. I was just kind of neutral about it, so I just played it to play it. But I know a
Yeah.
lot of
I
people
do
like
love
Mimi.
horror. I do love horror movies. Like,
Yeah,
I am a
that-
horror
yeah.
movie guy, but like it had no correlation to.
You
why
don't
I
have a
liked it.
Jason like Voorhees mask on your
strictly-
forearm.
I strictly love the idea of like at first, looping, and then it became more of like I love the idea of like gen split and efficiency, and like I started to love like the game.
I'm on the opposite side. I have a Michael Myers planter.
So we're split, like
So-
me and Ninny versus you two. I get it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I
just
like
'cause
horror
we're-
films,
Me and Mimi are just cooler.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was
pretty much.
That's so weird. That's so weird.
Is it weird? I also
That's
find
so-
it weird that we're just so much cooler.
This is
Mimi's
so
like 45.
That's
It's
why we're
54,
cool. We
but
both have
yeah.
nicotine addictions and we're both like 60.
We've been around. All right.
We've been
Why
around
don't you
the
pipe
block.
down, kids?
I'm about to pipe down. All right. So yeah, I've always liked horror films, so but I was just like M knows. I've never really been like I never watched movies on my own, so it's like I never really watched like I've watched some of the other like some of the films and things like that, but I've never really was into it. So, Mimi, what are some of your favorite horror films of all time? Like what
Well,
do you really like?
the biggest thing that piqued my interest in DVD was Freddy. I've had
Freddy!
yeah, not from like a his power is so good perspective, but from the perspective
Yeah.
of like, wait, Freddy Krueger's in
you
a
loved
video
his
game.
power.
Oh,
I
you
love
the
his
his
nightmare.
power.
You love his
Um,
acrylics.
The acrylics, yeah, he loves the acrylics.
But ever since I was 6 years old, I had this like obsession with Nightmare on Elm Street. I remember going through like Blockbuster, and I would always go through like the horror movie section. Yeah, bro, that's how old I am.
Oh,
I would
Your
go through
mic
like
just
the.
his
Bro,
mic
I
cut out
remember
so
Blockbuster.
bad.
I know, yeah. But I would go through the horror section, and something about like the Nightmare on Elm Street, like covers, always just I would be fascinated by them. So eventually, I saw it when I was 6 years old, and I just like I fucking fell in love with I fell in love with Robert Englund, really. Who's the original Fred Krueger? Which I'm also sad when I did start playing DVD to find out that the Freddy that they use is the remake one, and that's why like Quentin is in it. Which, if you know the remake, you know that remake
I've
was
watched it.
actual fucking garbage.
A lot of
It
people
was
liked it. I
actual
feel like a lot of people
hot
liked it.
garbage. Yeah, they might have liked it because they don't know dick about the original franchise. But like that
You guys
movie
don't know it like
was,
I know it. I've been
no,
watching
but
it since
Nerd emoji.
1979.
Yeah.
I think it's no, I think it's just the fact that like like Robert England is alive and well. They could have just used Robert England. You know,
I saw
like
him
he
once.
still acts. You saw him in person once.
Yeah, in Comic Con.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, he does a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's a fucking horror godfather. You know, like
Yeah, that's
like
true.
there's no reason why they couldn't use.
He
Robert
was in
Englund
Stranger
for
Things,
that.
wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah,
He was
Yeah,
the
that's what I
That's the
thought.
guy
dad.
that's the
The
guy,
guy
from
with
Onria.
the.
he's the father of
The father of
of Henry.
Vecna. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I was saying. That's what I thought because I remember seeing the trailer when it first came out. Like, and the viewer was like, "Wait, that's
Robert
the guy
Englund.
from." Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
What other movies like really like were you? Because I know you said Sadako, like you played
Mhm.
her. Is that one of your favorite films of all time? The Ring, or
It's not one of my favorite films of all time, but it is very good. Like that, The Ring is like it's just a cool concept for sure.
Mhm.
But like I said, like my favorite horror movie ever, like aside from being obsessed with Nightmare on Elm Street, is definitely Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like I can go on for hours going through the history of that fucking movie. Like it's just that movie they made on like no budget whatsoever. They did it in like disgusting Texas heat. Like that one dinner scene. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but if you're not, there's a dinner scene which is like the iconic scene in the fucking movie. But that took 24 hours to film. So they
I
were just
watched
in,
a video.
like, yeah, dude. So like by the time like they were wrapping filming, like the fear on what's her Marilyn Burns, there you go. The fear on Marilyn Burns' face is like very, very real. Additionally, they also physically did hit her with like when she's in the police station or the gas station with the one dude where he's hitting her with the broom. Yeah, he's actually hitting her with the broom. Like that is not fake. He's wailing on her for sure. I don't know. To me, like I always saw Marilyn Burns as the scream queen. Like everybody talks about like, oh, Jamie Lee Curtis is. Nah, fuck that. Marilyn Burns is definitely. So I don't know. My TCM obsession goes a little bit deep. I'll stop there.
I think that's
Okay.
a good place to end. So we have
Well,
an-
Nini, do you have a favorite horror film of all time, or you just kind of?
I don't think I really do, to be honest. Yeah, I was sitting thinking for a minute. I'm not the type to have. I don't have many favorites of anything. I can't think of a favorite
Scary
horror
movie.
film. A scary movie.
Anything
Yeah,
else
no,
you guys
I-
want to talk about or bring up or anything?
Nerf
you're-
Wesker.
Nerf
Wesker!
Wesker.
That's so funny. All right, in that case, thank you guys for listening.
Wait.
Again, we really want to stress we thank you guys so much for the support, especially all the friends who've been watching so far. It's been really heartwarming to, have that support, and yeah, we thank you guys. We really want to continue to encourage you guys to give us some feedback on things you think we could change or just feedback in general. It would be really nice to hear more of that. Do we want to go down the line here and plug the socials of our lovely guests here?
I want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
This is coming out on the 12th. Mimi should be doing a charity stream the day after this releases, right?
Oh
On the
yeah, that's
13th?
true. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, for sure. So the October 13th, we're doing a charity stream for No Kid Hungry, and I am doing a community KYF So if you would like to join in that, you are more than welcome to. You do just because it's a community KOF does not mean you have to be like a long-standing member of the community. You could be brand new that day. I do have a sign-up sheet in the Discord as well. Additionally, it's within my Twitch chat. Like it's on one of those like auto blast things every 10 minutes. So feel free to sign up. You can find me at Mimicakefarts everywhere. And yeah, all one word. So yeah,
we'll
it'll
also
be a really
put
good
it.
time.
We'll link it in like the YouTube, the sign up sheet. So if anyone
Very cool.
gets this far and they're like, hey, like that'd be because I know like some people they're in mine or M's community might not like be in yours as much. So they might want to stop by and play Killer or some Survivor. Just I'm sure there's other people like that want to just come in and play, just for the streamer just cause. So
for sure, yeah. And like if you want to sign up as Killer, that doesn't mean that you can't play as Survivor. You could play as both. Depending on how many people we have playing and how much time we have, like you can recycle too. So you can play numerous times. I think we're doing it like Killer gets 3 games, Survivor squads get 2. So yeah, feel free to join on both sides if you want.
I'll be in there as probably the Bubba player. So
fuck yeah,
I'm
I'm excited.
Claire Redfield running around.
Ninny's
That's amazing.
participating, right? Ninny, you're gonna come through on it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Very nice.
I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Don't you worry.
All right, Ninny, do you want to plug your socials as well?
Yeah. All right. You can find me on Twitch at WavyKate. You can find me. You can find me on TikTok at iSwear. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all, everyone, for having me here. I don't know. Coconinny Twitch. Ninny loves you on TikTok. Just if you want to. That's
and Twitter.
And Twitter.
Don't forget the bird app.
Yeah, don't forget the bird app. But shout out Wavy Kate though. Honestly, we love
For
that
real. Somebody give me a sub. It just expired today.
Bro, my Twitch link has been in his Steam bio for almost 3 months, easily. He just leaves my Twitch in his bio.
But
Hello,
seriously,
Wavy.
somebody give me a sub. I'm a girl. It expired
Please.
today. I'm on a
Blonde hair.
3-month streak. Come on.
Did I mention I'm a girl? Please.
Did I mention
Yeah.
I'm a girl? I also
I
have
have
blonde.
boobs.
I have boobs and I have blonde hair. But I
Please.
also can dye it any color. So.
And I can bark. Arf!
And I can woof 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 woof. All right.
I think we just woof our way goodbye. Everyone woof at the same time. We just end it there.
Wait,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
is it like a woof or is it like a arf?
Whatever
It's
you
whatever,
want.
like it's whatever you like.
Whatever you're
You're
feeling.
whatever comes. When I say bark or arf or woof, like whatever you like the most. If you're an arf, like you arf. If you're a woof,
Yeah,
you
I'm
woof.
a
If you're like ooh, go, like you a woo.
Oh,
you know?
maybe I
What
do
dog sounds like that?
Oh, you should see my dogs.
You should
And on
see
that
my
note,
dog.
On go. 3, 2, 1. Arf, arf, arf.
woof 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 woof. Goodbye, everyone.
Woof, 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 woof.
Bye bye.